Hello, everyone. Welcome to another session of the Thorns. Hope everybody's had a great week. We have finally our esteemed Shionkaisi, aka Mouse Graham, aka Estrella, rejoining us. So, with that being said, we will join straight into the recap of last session and people explaining what their characters have been doing on the downtime and playing out any scenes that they want to play out in the downtime. And we will be starting with Zara.
Yeah, so Zara is going to have Eodi move the runes from some of that equipment we acquired. She's also going to talk to him about getting some potions of invisibility made because she needs to get away in emergency buttons. And then with the rest of her time, she's going to try to find work busting or running smuggling rings through the camp.
Well, there is definitely no problem talking to a marshal and getting work running, yes, running, checking whether or not there's trouble with the doohickeys or dealing with other issues. So that she can do without too much problem. So you just do your underworld roll, and then you can just kind of figure out exactly the exact earnings of that on the page where they let us do that sort of thing.
Yes, at 20.
Yes. What's not to love? So that is a very good roll, obviously. Well, a 20 is not fantastic for you, but you can check what your earnings are easily enough.
What level task are you assigning me?
We are going to say it's a level 5 task.
Okie dokie.
Currently, there's not that much smuggling, and it's definitely not a professional smuggling ring. It's mostly NCOs and E4s smuggling alcohol and porn.
Some things never change.
And when you're done, feel free to just kick it to the next person.
Let's go with Mador.
Well, before we start with the downtime, we ended up having to head out to an area that I lost contact with. Went in, there was like a mist or ash or something like that, and we ended up finding a bunch of a ghost, grave knight, hunter, ghouls. Grave knight was over the Raven Guards. I've been knighted unofficially now. Otherwise, we did a lot of hacking and slashing, I guess. And then we also burnt most of the bodies so they wouldn't come back up again. As for my downtime, I'm going to be doing mostly guard duties, kind of keeping away from the crowds. I'm going to talk to Master Yodi if he could take a +2 striking off with a longbow and put it onto my glaive. And otherwise, I'm going to be, like I said, guard duty and doing instructions to any of the young recruits that needs training and pole arms, hand to hand, whatever, during my during the 5 days.
Right, so that'll be a difficulty 8 instructor task. So that'll be your instructor skill you roll for that. I think that's a pretty good roll. I'm hoping Mr. Quinaris can help me with helping you guys figure out how much you earn.
Said level 8, right?
Yes.
2 gold, 5 silver for trained per day.
Let's see, and what is Mador in that skill? He's trained, yeah. So that'll be 2.8 gold times 5.
Thank you. I'll pass it on to Marisol.
Yeah. So Marisol during downtime would join the other commanders to plan the forthcoming battles and stuff like that. She would also take some time to train with Preacher to make sure that they are on the same page with some new signals for him to grapple enemies and her to shoot them. Other than that, she is available for a talk with Estrella and Magnus during downtime, so we'll have to play that out after they have gone, I guess. And then she's also seeking out Walter, the captain of the others, for some company.
Ah, yes, Walter is definitely amenable to that sort of thing.
So maybe a lore warfare from me then?
A lore warfare for you, yes. A difficulty 8 as well.
28.
Yeah. So that'll be the same 2.8 goal, I believe.
She is a master in warfare, so she earns 3 gold per day.
Oh, damn. Yeah,
Nice.
definitely putting up some very nice and good plans as well. You're pretty certain that you'll be able to ambush or counter any shenanigans in case somebody tries to super murderize the commanders of the army.
Then I'll toss the ball to my training partner, Preacher.
Thank you very much. Recap. The only thing I think we've missed in the recap, which was very short, is that we have moved camp to Count Claudio's current place, which is basically a wreck of a house, which I think we have spent some time renovating and also clearing out and cleaning out every single of the carnage that took place here. During my downtime, I focus on the Men of Clay, the small squad of people that Evert, my disciple, gathered up. Do you want me to play out that scene now? Okay.
We can do that, yeah. You and the Men of Clay are you're having yourself a real, or you're giving them a real hard time, to be more correct. They are, but there none of them so far have broken, although it looks like a couple are going to in the next week.
I focus very much hard on the willpower aspect, and I also instruct them on the enemies that we have fought so far, as in the smaller zombies and skeletons and the higher undeads and, well, everything in between, just so they know what to tackle and not, because they are not ready to go up against one of those giant grave wights yet.
Yeah. After a couple of days of training, Ebert comes up to you, dripping with sweat and blood and everything. Having healers available does allow you to train way harder than what would normally be considered healthy or even sustainable. He comes up. He seems happy, but also a bit bit uncertain. Sensei Preacher.
Yes.
If combat comes, these new trainees, they will not be able to stand against the sort of dangers that you and your compatriots face. What would you rather have us do? Should we fight on the flanks and keep enemies, the weaker enemies away, or do you want us to focus on any enemy leaders or spellcasters?
No, I think that depending on the situation, if we are in a full warfare situation, you're going to have to guard the rear and the flanks. We will respond as we can, as quickly as possible. but your task will be to slow down the people in the rear until you're more trained. And you will be their sergeant in effect, so you gotta keep them focused and together and try and help them as much as possible until I can get there and hopefully help you if you're overwhelmed.
He bows his head. Also, Sensei, another question. We have been offered weapons fit for monks from Sir Roland as part of the payment for destroying the Grave Knight with the company. Would you like us to pick up bows or staffs?
How many of you are there? There's 5, I think, isn't it?
Yes, 6 with me, Sensei.
I would suggest 1 or 2 of you pick up the bow, and the remaining 4 pick up the staff.
Very well.
But don't skimp on the training with the staff for the bowmen either. Just make sure they are more trained in the bow.
He bows again. Yes, master. We shall do as you say.
One word of caution that I want you to spread among them is that their purpose, they have to slowly advance in what they can face. I don't want them attacking anything above their weight class just yet. That's the way we have learned as adventurers. We have tackled more and more progressively difficult things, and they're not up to tackling the really toughest ones yet.
So, quiet and stealthy, fast, adaptable.
Adaptable above all.
Yes, sir. I shall get back to training the men of clay.
Thank you, Hubert. You're doing a fine job. And I will be visiting soon, and we'll have a dinner and talk some things about the adventures that we've had.
I look forward to learning at your feet, master.
Well,
kind of grins and stalks off to finally subject somebody else to the sort of punishment he's been getting for the last 6 weeks.
Oh, he's going to do fine. Then I turn my attention to training with Marisol, basically making sure that Marisol sees my kind of combat moves and knows when I have something restrained and locked down. So this is the moment to attack. I also train a little bit in giving different kinds of cues and signals, so we know what's going to happen and when. And I try to also learn what she can signal, so we can have a little bit of a quicker back and forth in case of such situations. And with Estrella, I'm hoping to do combat acrobatics, which includes tossing to get to places she shouldn't get on her own, but also doing the kind of flat-footed, restrained action. So if I grab something and hold it, she will know to attack it in her turn next.
Very well. That sounds like something you're going to be spending a lot of time on. But you're starting to learn how to fight in a way that makes it easier for her to shoot people, and she's getting better at placing the sort of shots that make it easier for you to fight something.
And final thing with Eodi, I've already requested work on the Ebon wraps and the robes of Ebon Soul. But if those are finished and approved and clean, also transplanting a Ghost Touch rune to the Ebon wraps, as well as the sleeves of storage to the robes of Ebon.
Yes, he has managed to do this.
Wonderful. Then that's all from me, and I pass it over to Magnus.
Well, Magnus has returned the plans and schedules that he found in the Count's camp to the Marquis in charge. Other than that, in downtime, he's keeping up his turn on watch and patrolling the camp. He's going to be holding open training sessions with his weapons for anyone that wants to join in, and working with his horse, Etienne, on perfecting jousting. He's offered his tactical background to Marisol for the group and for backup when she's consulting with the nobles. And he's also going to be speaking to Eodi regarding runes.
Yeah, seems like Yodi can do that without any sort of difficulty.
Well, let's play the Eodi scene first then.
Okay.
Master Eodi.
Yes, Magnus?
Well met, my friend. I have a few questions about... can you do much with armor runes? I have a burning need for a resilient rune for this cairn here. Can you be of any help?
Eodi can move runes around and do those sorts of things, yes.
We haven't found a resilient rune. I was hoping you knew something about making them.
I don't think I can make runes.
They are 340 gold in level 8, so it takes 4 days for the first half of the cost.
I am not one to make the runes, sadly for you, Magnus, but if you find it, I can move it around for you.
Aye, master, fair enough. Zara had this great sword, and he pulls it from behind his back. There's a +2 rune on that, a potency rune on this. I was wondering if you could transfer it to my sword. And he draws that and gives them both to Eodi.
He kind of gestures to the pile of things next to him. He's like, you can add it to the queue. Eodi will do it as soon as he can.
That sounds smashing. Here, a gold coin for your hoard. And let me know what it comes up to, and I'll see you right.
I will do this.
I don't suppose... Do you know anything about horseshoes? The invested type? I'm trying to get Etienne to go a wee bit faster.
Eodi knows nothing about horses other than that they are delicious.
I'm hoping you might ride him at some point, but no eat him. It was worth asking. Thank you for your time, Master Eodi. I'll let you get on. As you can see, you're busy. Magnus just wanders back out.
Very well. Toss it over to somebody else.
Edamir.
All right. For downtime, you start to notice for Roran, as Etienne's around, Roran has grown about the size of a warhorse, so he's not a normal wolf. And then as time goes on for Edamir, it becomes harder to remember specific things about him. If you've written down his name anywhere or you've drawn pictures of him, the name starts to have ink stains brush over it. Portraits of him just start to crack. And for downtime, he's going to try to find somebody to make him a new harness for Roran. Anybody that works on horse barding, about that size. And then
in between his naps and everything, he's going to try to smuggle some mice and rats to the other foxes. Hopefully Zara doesn't catch him.
Gotcha. Seems to be no issue there. Okay, kick it over to whoever you feel needs to go.
Estrella?
When Estrella comes back to the group, she straight off walks to Marisol. Marisol?
Yes?
I just came back from scouting. We went a little bit farther than intended, but I found something quite concerning in the direction of Ravensbridge.
Okay, tell me all about it.
It is about 3 days towards Ravensbridge, and there was a necromancer at a gravesite. They were, he and his army of undead. There were quite a lot of skeletons and zombies. They were digging up a gravesite, and well, if you ask in my Arc Scouts, they will not be able to tell you because there was a fog around them, and the others got confused, and I was able to sneak through that fog to see what they were doing, but I think anyone with a weak will not be able to find the necromancer. I think he had an undead knight with him as well.
I wouldn't be surprised based on what we've found here.
Well, yeah, I saw that there has been a battle here. I hope everyone is okay.
Every one of us, not everyone.
Well, can't expect that. A fight always has some victims, sadly.
This one more than others.
Well, I'm glad you are okay.
I'm glad to have you back.
Glad to be back. Yeah, so necromancers on gravesites, never a good thing. Maybe we should check that out.
Could you show us on this map approximately where it was?
Yeah, sure. And well, she points to a place. Yeah, well, about 3 days towards Ravenbridge.
Good to know. I'll take it with the other commanders. Thank you.
All right. I'll
go
see
get
if...
yourself some food. You look like you need it.
I actually do. Yes. Thank you.
Go back to my scrolls and papers and maps and stuff.
Yeah, Estrella walks off to grab some food and then looks for some exercise, aka preachers fighting cures.
Yeah, that's not hard to find. Preachers fighting courses actually drawn a lot of spectators, and you can see people are now they've kind of set up small fires. They're making food, playing dice games, and making bets on what the people can do and whether or not Preacher can punch through different things. They're up to a hardened leather chest plate now, and Preacher seems to have no issue just smacking that in two with some focus. More surprising is when he actually manages to punch through the steel chest plate of one of the captains from his reserve armor. He seems pretty upset with the whole thing, having lost a lot of money, but he takes it like a champ, even though he never thought Preacher would be able to do that.
Estrella,
Preacher.
welcome back.
Did you get stronger again, looking at the plate?
Somewhat. I learned a few things, and I do feel a little bit stronger for the experience with that blasted portal stone thing, planar stone thing. I remember more about my past, and while it not may be all good, it certainly has given me new perspectives and new awareness. I think something old awoke.
Well, the past is not always a happy place to remember, but it makes us who we are. So I'm glad that you now know more about yourself.
Pieces, but more pieces than before.
If you want, I can make those memories more clear for you.
Exactly how?
Well, I can just enhance them. I can delve deep into there.
Let me think about that. I'm a little bit cautious of delving too fast and too deep into it because I don't want to find the switch that basically turned me into obedient machine.
I
All right,
definitely
just let me know.
Yeah, I like you better when you can think for yourself.
Yeah.
If you want, I can erase memories too.
No, I have too few of those. Thank you for the offer, but no.
Yeah, the reason I actually came to you, Preacher, I could use some exercise. I've been sneaking around a lot lately, and I could use some combat training.
Oh, absolutely. Do you want one-on-one with me, or do you want to exercise with my newly found group of men? The Men of Clay, by the way. Those are these guys.
Oh. Well, seems like we are gathering quite the troops here.
Yeah, we are.
I thought about maybe more of a team practice for us.
Oh, yeah.
The last time I tried to fight alone did not end so well.
Then I have some things that I actually remember that may be of use for you, because one of the memories I have awoken is a fighting style I forgot. I remembered how to hold and grapple quite nicely. So I can restrain people and probably help you find a weak spot in their armor by they can basically hold him still for you.
Oh yeah, sure. If you can somehow make them lose balance or something, that would help quite a lot.
Absolutely. I wave over one of my recruits that unfortunately is going to be playing the assaulting soldier and example for me to hold still while Estrella explores how to utilize this skill. So we're gonna do a little bit of mock combat.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a young dwarf, actually, young dwarven female, but she steps up with a bit of trepidation in her eyes. This is not something she's looking forward to, but she is bravely assaulting Preacher as when he commands her to, without too much success. Although you can see the glimmer of possibility here if she lives long enough. She could become a good fighter.
Very nice. At the right moment, I try and lock a good hold and basically hold her more or less immobilized, restrained, to show Estrella this is the key things to look for. If I try and do this, you have an opportunity to basically stab wherever you want.
Yeah, Estrella uses one of her daggers that is still in a sheath. So no injuries, but definitely, hey, you would be dead if I had actually drawn that one now.
Give us an attack roll. Anything except a 1 is good.
Let's see. I am going to use... Yeah, as I said, not drawn, so...
Oh, super impressive. Yeah, Estrella just lightning fast hits every major artery and pretty much every organ, just leaving a single drop of blood on every site where she hits. And you can see the soldiers actually are watching. Some are cheering, and a fair amount of them are actually trying to do what you're doing and discussing it with like older veterans. And that's lots of blood comes out from there. Yep, when you poke somebody there with a spear, they usually fall over, type thing. And you're not entirely certain what the effect of this is going to be, but it seems like at least the companies that have been watching you will have a slight edge in any coming battle.
Nice. We proceed to doing all kinds of holds and grapples and tossings, minor tossing. I'm not going to toss anybody severely long, but basically making sure that the Estrella has a target opportunity when I toss them past her.
Very well. So I believe, except for that, Estrella has some conversations you want to do as well.
Yeah.
This seems like the time.
Yeah, she keeps avoiding Magnus, but stays near Marisol. To Marisol, that has spent quite a lot of time with Estrella by now, she may notice that Estrella is unsure how to open up a topic to talk to her.
Well, one very early morning, basically, when Marisol comes back from somewhere, looking a bit disheveled, she notices Estrella sitting on guard, and what's the matter?
What do you mean?
Are we gonna have to play this game?
You're talking about Magnus?
I'm talking about you, and definitely Magnus, now that you brought him up.
All right, I think you should know. I mean, we have to fight together, and I know him from before.
Like how?
You know what I'm specialized in? She is pointing at her dagger.
Yes?
Let's say he was a target of mine.
You tried to kill him?
I was ordered to, yes, and not only him. I was partially successful. How much do you know about his story?
Too little. I know he had a family and doesn't anymore.
Partially my fault.
Well, you were under orders, right?
I was.
And was it a war?
Yes, it was. And she actually is taking up her sleeve, showing Marisol her arm. And now Marisol can clearly see a tattoo, almost like, a mark that you put onto a possession. I was a slave in Zeebs.
Then you are in no way responsible for what you were forced to do. And I'm sure he will understand as well. Should we wake him up and get this over and done with?
Estrella tries to stop her, but knows that, yeah, we need to talk.
Magnus? She shakes him lightly.
I'm awake. Aye, hen. What is it? And is there any coffee?
There's coffee. Come on. We need to talk.
What about? Oh, hello, Estrella. Nice to see you back.
Hello, Magnus.
You've been avoiding me, haven't you?
I can't really deny it, can I?
Not really, lassie. One of these days I'll find out why.
Looking to Marisol, that Well, first get your coffee.
She holds out a mug.
Thank you, Marisol Hen. He takes a seat. Right. So, I've seen part of them. Show me the rest of your rune on your arm.
Yeah, and once again, she shows her tattoo on the arm. And this time, she actually also shows a rune on her wrist. On her right wrist.
The Zebian slave. What's that one on your lower arm?
I don't know, that one's new actually.
Interesting. I didn't know that one. So, we've met before, haven't we?
We have, and I by now remember you clearly. I'm not sure how much you remember about me.
Well, you had something to do. How much have you told Marisol?
She sighs and
She told me that she's at least partially responsible for the fact that you don't have a family anymore.
'Tis true. There was a Zebian invasion into the mountains of Centaur. They were coming through to strike the rest of Golden Glens. My son, Robert, he was one of our local Lord's Scouts. He woke my wife, Brianne, and I up one night, telling us about a column of soldiers coming into the mountains, approaching the village. We mustered our force together. We sent the young and very old, those unable to defend themselves, to our Lord's castle in the next valley. And then we set up to defend the village. We managed to beat them, and then we followed them. Found them outside our Lord's castle, besieging the place. We were just in time to see his knights charge out and cause havoc. And then we caught the siege pack. There was a big fight. My son, he met your Archon, didn't he? Decurion.
if that young knight was the one I saw, if that was your son, then yes. We were tasked with breaking through that point, through that castle to press the invasion further. But before we could properly set up, your knight surprised us.
He was no knight, he was just a man at arms. We charged into you opposite the knights. You remember?
I do not remember the whole fight because I was tasked differently. And she just stops a moment before continuing. I was a Decurion. I had a small unit with me, but we weren't specialized in fighting open battles. We were a specialized unit for, well, assassination. And my unit had 2 targets.
Even back then? Go on.
Well,
who were your targets?
the two people we, and especially I, was tasked to kill were 2, well, commanders of the army. to break the morale of the troops. Namely, you and your wife.
Brienne and I.
Yes.
Oh, that's flattering. That I think some of your intelligence was out somewhere. But so you weren't involved in the death of Robert. Different armor, and he was bigger. But he was the one I charged. Disappeared in a flash of light.
Flash of light, this. And you can see anger suddenly flaring up in her eyes. They left us to die. When they saw the battle was lost, they just disappeared with all the officers and left the slaves to die. If I could, no, not if I could. I am searching for them to get revenge for my friends, for my people. We were slaves, but we weren't. They thought of us only as material for slaughter.
Aye,
But-
I thought as much.
When the one ogre that we have fought, she looks to Marisol. You remember him? He almost killed Leo before. It was when we rescued the villagers and were looking for the monk.
Yes, I remember him.
You remember what he called me?
Captain.
Yes, he was one of the worst, and I'm glad we could end him. But, Magnus, I did not kill your son, but it was my knife that ended your wife.
Brienne.
I am.
Old. She was trying to get to Robert. She left herself open. You took your chance. Poison blade?
Poison blade, and she did not leave herself open. We created that situation. We were targeting your son, yes, not as a target itself, but to get you and your wife to focus on him instead of yourself. I am not sorry for what I have done, as I have done it to protect my people. If we hadn't succeeded, we would have died anyway. But I am sorry for your loss, because it is and was an unnecessary war.
Aye. You weren't meant to be there, but you had no control over that.
Well, I did plan the assassination, and it was my knife. I was sure you recognized me. I did recognize you after we introduced ourselves, and the next morning you were wearing your armor. From that point on, I knew who you were, and I was sure you recognized me as well. I'm surprised you didn't.
I think part of me did. And he reaches out at the hand slowly and touches the scar by her eye. That was my spear, wasn't it?
She's
after
just
your Archon
switching
left.
back. Yes, it was yours.
Do you remember what happened after that?
She goes silent for a moment. No, it went black, and when I came to you,
You were
there
with
was a very
halfling
kind couple that took care of me.
Aye, I know. I took you there. After, when you got Brienne, I kind of lost my senses. I woke up, if you can call it that, covered in gore in front of the burnt up remains of my family's cabin. Both my daughters had been defending it. They died there. There was only about half a dozen of us left in the village. And they asked me to stay, but they were scared of me. I could see it in their eyes. So I packed up what I could. And while I was leaving, I saw this wee body on the ground. Turned it over. It was still breathing. It was you. So I took you along to the next village and left you with that halfling couple. If I bore a grudge, you wouldn't have made it.
Did you know that I was the one that killed your wife at that point?
I had my suspicions. You must have been near the centurion that Brienne planted this hammer in. Was she your friend?
She was my best friend.
Ach, I'm sorry for that, lassie. None of you should have been there. Do you know why, apart from mustering people to oppose your army, do you know why they set you on us?
We have been told nothing. We were told to march, we were told to fight, we were told to kill. And if we didn't, we were killed.
Aye. That's why in my heart of hearts, I can't blame you. Though, I might have the odd sharp word for you from now on. We ran an underground ferry, I suppose you could call it. Slaves from Zebes would turn up once in a while, and we'd see them away to some other part of Golden Glens. Yeah, make sure they were free. That's why they wanted us gone.
You helped our people?
Aye. We're dedicated to freedom. Yeah? Freedom of choice, especially for those under a yoke of oppression like yourself were. You'd turn up. Half the time they were like your soldiers assaulting the village, half-starved, poor wretches driven to attack. We didn't kill them with a light heart. We were just defending what was ours. But when they turned up with no arms, looking for a better life, what else could we do but help them, get them away, give them the chance of a life, their own choice. That was why they wanted us gone.
I tried to find survivors from my company. I heard there were some in the capital, but I didn't have time to go look for them. I wanted to make sure they are okay, to see if others survived. And she takes her backpack, opens it, and actually takes out, making sure that no of the normal soldiers see, only Marisol and Magnus, takes out her Sebesian armor and weapons to show them. I still have them.
Aye.
They are worth too much to just throw away, and they are part of my past. She starts putting them away again, leaving only the Kilpesh out for the moment. And I used this sword here to slay that officer. And when I did, she holds out her wrist again. This rune appeared. I'm afraid to use this weapon again, but I would do it if need is be, if we need a strong weapon like this. But I don't know what it will do to me. I do not want to be bound again to them.
Aye, I can understand that. Well,
I will do anything in my power to make sure you are never brought back there.
aye,
And
I'll lend my voice to that.
What we've spoken here must not travel any further.
of course not.
What has been spoken is between us, and it's nobody else's business. I guess I'm partly to blame that you can't find many of your company to ask them what happened after Brienne died. There was a red mist in front of my eyes, and I'm no proud of it. I chased them down. Just red rage, I'm afraid.
If I had had the opportunity, I wouldn't have taken any second to think about killing you as well. You were, as I said before, also my target. If I had been able to,
Okay.
you wouldn't be sitting here, so
But he is. And you
Yeah.
are too. And you are free now. And you will die a free woman, I promise you.
she packs away the Kyopish as well. So I also promise that although I have been an assassin, I never intended to hurt any innocent. And I think I have promised your company here before, Marisol, I will never raise my blade against any innocent people of these lands or anyone that does not mean harm to innocent.
That's good enough for me.
Wherever she is now, my Brienne is looking at you. Yeah. She will trust you to enforce that vow. As for me, if you're hunting down those that brought you there and left you to die, you need a strong shoulder, you can ask.
You are willing to help me? After all that has been done?
What was done is done. Brienne would look very badly on me if I chased a woman for what she was forced to do. It doesn't come easy, but I can only strive to be better than I am. But I'd help you.
She is mustering him a moment, and then she is holding out her hand. Allies?
Aye, why not? He reaches out and takes her hand.
She actually grabs his arm like a strong grip between the warriors.
No more hiding. Agreed?
Agreed.
Dial day.
Marisol yawns. I should probably get some sleep. I'll leave you to it. And she disappears into her tent.
Excellent. So that seems to. Is there anybody else with any scenes they want to play out? Please hit us up. Let us know before we move on.
We also like Master Yodi, I think.
Master Yodi, indeed.
I don't have any scenes, but I do have some downtime stuff I gotta take care of. So I'm gonna
Yes,
move all the runes and everything around. I have 5 spells I want to learn as well. I don't know if you want 5 Arcana checks, but
Nah, that's you have the time to do it. So just well, actually, yeah, just 5. Just roll them, so we're done with it. So it's been handled. Yes. Ooh.
I rolled 2
Wow.
ones.
Wow.
Yeah, so 2 of those spells you actually aren't able to learn just because it's you were very tired in the evening after all of the runes, and you had the scrolls upside down when trying to transcribe them into your spell book.
That sounds about right. I can try again in a week, so I'll just strike 2 of them off. One of those spells I learned was invisibility, however, and Zara wants me to make him a wand of invisibility, so I'm going to spend a day working on that as well.
Gotcha. Seems like a good idea.
So I'll do a crafting check for that, see if I can get another one. And then, other than that, I already rolled all the crafting checks for all the runes I was moving around, and that's all I was going to do.
Gotcha. Well, it's been 5 days. The army has been probed more or less continuously by small groups of. Well, when we say small, it is in the concept. Looking at it from an army's perspective, by groups of maybe 50 to 100 zombies attacking in several places. Pretty certain that the farms between here and Ravensbridge are probably going to be pretty empty and barren for a while until they're repopulated, because it's very obvious that they've run out of corpses to reanimate them, or just making them first and then reanimating them. There's a lot of frustration in the army, but for most of the veterans here are aware that just tearing off all willy-nilly would be an excellent way of getting y'all killed. So the morning of day 5, or morning of day 6 comes up. So Roland again. Now, mostly when you've seen him the last 5 days, he's just been wearing his doublet and the padding for under the armor. But now he's back into his gleaming plate and the white and silver insignia on it. He's riding up to camp. Easily jumps off his horse the way somebody else would just stand up from a chair. Comes up to Marisol and the bunch as you're having porridge for breakfast for the 7th time this week. Captain Marisol.
Sir?
The armies will be heading off come noon.
We will be ready.
The Marquis would like you and your company to take the vanguard scouting position on the western flank of the front of the army. Try to stay half a day in front of us at the very least, so we can get a warning from you if any larger concentrations of enemies show up. Should you find any enemy officers, or whatever we should call them, necromancers, vampires, spellcasters, whatever, please use your your best judgment, but the Marquis will pay you a bonus of 100 gold per member of your group for each enemy officer taken out. Be aware also that there has been a report of a man in Sabesian clothing traveling with huge golden discs affixed to his ears. A slightly devilish look.
We will definitely keep an eye out for him.
Obviously, an officer of some sort left after their attack. He's traveling in the company of at least 2 giants. Huge, black-skinned giants, but in very heavy plate armor. We don't know much about him, except that one of the mercenary companies out scouting lost 15 people to one of his spells, where he just froze everybody solid.
Right. Well, we'll keep our eyes and ears open, and we'll leave to start scouting as soon as we're finished breakfast.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Captain Barlow, and the best of luck to you. We should only be about a week's march with the army from Ravensbridge. According to the Ravens, they've started seeing preliminary forces of the enemy now, setting up and making huge towers ready to try to roll up onto the bridge and breach the walls. They're very obviously planning on taking down Ravensbridge before we arrive. But we will not give them the opportunity.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sir Roland.
It is my pleasure, Captain Barlow. May Yautel bless your steps.
May the gods watch over you.
And he rides off to the next company. You can hear that the other 2 captains are getting also the southwestern flank, but slightly behind you. You'll be the tip of the spear, so to speak, once you start moving.
Well, people, you heard the man. As soon as you finish breakfast, we need to be ready to roll.
Yes, Captain.
Wagon's basically ready. The bags of holding make keeping everything tidy pretty easy.
Excellent. I'm gonna go check on Billy as soon as I've finished my porridge.
Very well.
I lean over to Marisol. Have you figured out how to pull live mouse out of your rations bag yet?
No, but I did get lemmings.
Interesting.
I do blame the fox. And
I
he
would
didn't
too.
seem to mind that they were lemmings and not mice.
I understand.
Crunchy goodness.
I'll take the gauntlet off my belt, stick it on the hand, and wind it up.
Yeah. I don't know if Estrella has she actually seen the new gauntlet Mador has, where he has lost 2 fingers? So he now has a gauntlet with 2 mechanical fingers on his left hand.
I think she was still with the group when he reappeared.
Very well. Just checking. Yeah, so the army, it's a lot of people. There were more, but you're still moving an army of roughly 5,000 and scouting for it. So even though they are, even though they're moving pretty well, they're definitely they got some dang it, Shoggoth brain. it's going to take a while to move the entire bunch. It's not like with your small group that can move fast. You'd see a lot of these regiments, lots of mercenaries here. Maybe something like 1,000 footmen, and the rest are mostly mercenaries gathered from the surrounding counties, marches, duchies, and baronies. And they're having some trouble marching in proper formations where they don't get in each other's way and make trouble. So even though Ravensbridge is maybe only a 4-day ride away, it's definitely going to be a 7-day march with this bunch.
Well, we're to lie 1/2 a day in front of them, at least. We need to be careful not to be pulling too far ahead. But I'm sure we've looked at the maps and made sure that we have a plan to follow there.
And we also have the Orc Scouts that
We have the Orc Scouts and we have ourselves, but we shouldn't let them stray too far away because what we might meet here is potentially very dangerous.
Well, we know of at least one necromancer and his undead in front of us.
We do, and you should probably know this. I don't know if you heard Sir Roland, but he describes the Sabesian man that he described to us. He's been seen.
Let Estrella fix her little issue with sound before we go on. Shouldn't take too long. She's good at that sort of thing.
Or perhaps we could take our 10 minutes break, since she seemed to have issues.
Before that, we'll let Preacher describe what he looks like now with the new gear he's put on.
Yeah, since I basically took over the fittings of one of the undead monks that we fought, he now wears a dark robe, which is coined Robe of the Ebon Soul. It's a loose fitting robe that kind of swallows light. There's no magic in it. It's just a non-reflective cloth and a weave that kind of flows, blows when he moves. In his hands, wraps of the Ebon Soul, black long strips with adamantine reinforcements covering both handbacks and knuckles. And when he flexes, there is something of a light appearing, but we'll see what happens when he comes into combat.
Using the items of our enemies. You know, there's a loot over here that would look perfect with those robes.
Indeed. What was that?
Yeah, the spurned loot that we got from last fight.
Not sure which item you're talking about.
The one the music guy was playing.
No, I don't think I will be able to use that.
Okay, on that note, as we are having some sound issues with one of our players, we're going to take our 10-minute break so people can do bios, coffee, that sort of thing, and try to deal with that, and we will be back very shortly.
Stay tuned.
Okay.
There we are. We are back. I do believe Estrella wanted to say something.
Yes. When she is informed of that officer and also gets his description, she goes very still for a moment before she looks at Marisol and Magnus. I think that is Kipri and his bodyguards. A spellcaster, and now she only looks at Magnus, the sub-archon, one of his closest officers.
So we want him.
For sure.
Right. Let's see what we can do so that you get him.
Because I cannot promise you that you will get the last hit.
I'll settle for a hit. That will do.
We'll do what we can. And he's not
Should be-
getting you.
Should
Well-
be easy. We got a way better spellcaster, right, Yodi?
Oh, yes. Way better.
After all, we have a dragon.
That is true.
Aye.
A little quieter to Marisol. He should not be able to recognize me. My hair was black back then.
But if he does recognize you, we'll make sure he never gets to you.
Oh, but I will get to him.
Counting on it. Are we ready to go?
All
Yeah.
packed up?
Right. It's a nice summer day. Yeah. About 85 Fahrenheit. With a slight breeze. Clear skies as you start moving. So Estrella's 5 orchid scouts kind of sprinting ahead. And doing a lot of scouting for you. I assume who among you are going to be ranging out to scouts?
I will be scouting with while riding Roran.
I'll be hunters marking the Archon and keep a lookout for his trail.
I mean, they are my scouts, so I guess I'm out with them.
I'm sneakily driving a wagon.
Yep. Temult currently is back in the camp and helping treat the constant stream of wounded from the poking attacks of the enemy. Harassment. Besides, somebody had found a lot of cloudberries. Last time you saw him, he was busy picking those. Talking about something, some magical item called jam.
Captain Marisol?
Yes, Sir Mador?
Okay.
Did you write this?
Where would you like me?
Did you write this down right?
If you'd bring up the rear in case someone tries to sneak behind us, I would be very grateful.
As you wish, Captain.
Thank you, Sir Knight.
Right, so we are getting a lot of stealth and perception rolls here, which is good. I'm going to need one from Marisol as well. Ooh,
At least it was the perception roll.
yeah, Marisol's fallen asleep on the wagon. It's not really seeing much.
I'm in the saddle, so I'm probably just daydreaming.
Yeah. She's actually fallen asleep in the saddle instead, having spent way too much time planning lately. But the rest of you easily identify a number of traps and ambushes. Send the information back to the main force so that they can either avoid it or deal with it. You got yourself 3 days of pretty uninterrupted movement. It's a bit jarring, sleeping half a day from the rest of the army, and now that you're kind of used to having backup very close by. But you've also gotten used to the fact that within a couple of hours, the other two companies, the bulls and the guerrillas, come and join you at your camp, taking your numbers up to almost 50 and making you feel a bit safer. On the third day, you can see you're getting close to where Estrella and her scouts found the dig site. That's going to be an hour or two to the west of where you are now. You can also see the trail of the sub-Archon heading eastwards. You'll probably only have time to hit one of these things before the main army arrives.
Suggestions?
I want him. But I figure our group has the best chance to pass that fog, as we have dealt with such things before, and I'm sure that we have a strong will as well. I'm not too sure about the normal soldiers. But you know my story now, so...
Yeah, I do.
I can be patient. I'm sure I will get to him sooner or later if the main army doesn't get him. And there's more than one target on my list. Although he is a quite high one.
Anyone else?
I'm
Object
fine.
first.
I'm fine either way.
I mean, if we get in there and kill the officers before the army gets here, we get paid more.
We do indeed. We get 100 gold per head. Ours and theirs.
They may be weaker without their officers, too.
That's an excellent point.
It is easier to break troops that are leaderless and confused.
And he is a very powerful spellcaster.
He could wreak havoc with our army.
Definitely would not want him flanking around us.
His bodyguards won't be easy as well.
You know these people. What should we be on the lookout for? How do we defeat them?
If we have any way to separate him from his bodyguards and disrupt his spellcasting. But if they stay close to each other and the other two protect him so we can't interrupt him, that will be the most dangerous situation.
So get him away from his bodyguards and disrupt his spellcasting. Is that something you can help with, Yodi?
Yodi may be able to protect us from magic, but it is not a guarantee.
Even alone, he won't be an easy target. but definitely easier than being protected by his bodyguards. They are giants.
Well, I suggest we go after him then.
I mean, the army knows about this dig site. They know about the fog. They should be able, hopefully, they have their own spellcasters to resolve this.
We should send a message nonetheless to make sure that they know exactly where it is and to avoid it. And that we're going after them.
It seems the wisest course of action.
It's settled then. Should we sneak up on them?
With pleasure.
While we're talking, Marisol is checking all her weapons, including those she hasn't used in a while. Make sure they are all well and fully functional.
Okay. So you're going after the sub-archon first.
Mm-hmm. Estrella's actually handing Marisol a knife that has some roses. Let me just quickly... Yeah. So, and she says, I am offering you this knife for the day. If need be, I will be able to call it to me. If you need it, and it is with me, you will be able to call it.
Thank you. She gives her a hug.
Very nice. Okay, give Marisol. You're the one that can actually track him. So give us a hunter roll. Man,
Wow.
you are just not on your game. Well, you're pretty certain you're following him at the best possible speed. It takes you east, so you're no longer on the flank of you're not on the flank of the army anymore, as they wish you to do. But you are following him, and you're pretty certain you're going to find him sometime before nightfall. He's moved into a more heavily wooded area, and like not a huge wood, but like 100-acre wood. Just less nice than the one we're used to hearing about. Boom, 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 boom. Take me down to the ball. I mean, it's all good. As you're sneaking up, you can smell smoke. Let's see. Marisol, of course, being the one that's kind of leading the charge. There's a little, what's it called? Little delta in the woods, meaning you're gonna have to split up ever so slightly to get close. But you should be on him in fairly short order. Is there anything you want to be doing while you're heading up?
Just cursing myself for having trouble following this trail. And for being so off course.
Yes, crazy, right?
I'm gonna pass out 2 healing potions to Preacher, Marisol, and Estrella.
Are these the lesser potions you gave us before?
Yes.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Master Oni.
Yori thinks these may be of use very soon.
Thank you. I give you a coin back for the hoard. It's golden.
Give us a. I assume Estrella is in the front, so give us a little, Jesus, brain. Hello.
Perception?
Stealth check.
Stealth,
please.
okay.
And the perception while you're at it. Estrella is definitely sneaking up. Very, very easily. You can see he's sitting. You can see the subarchon clad in. The robes are still perfectly well kept, not a smear of dirt or a tear in them. He's sitting by a pool, a small pool, making food. It seems in some sort of cauldron, or well, you hope it's food.
I am so going to mark him for death.
Could be something much nastier. Hard to say, really. And you can also see, let me find a picture here. Wow, okay, wow, that is super laggy suddenly. You can also see, no, fancy grounds, behave. Two huge giants walking around. One is sitting by the fire. The other one is chilling out and relaxing. Just sitting with a fishing pole into the little pool. Take me into the ball game. Hum 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 hum. There we are. Hum 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 hum. So this is where you find yourselves currently. It's not dark yet, but it will be dark pretty soon. Doesn't seem like he's spotted Estrella yet. What are you planning on doing?
Yeah, well, as I said before, I am marking him for death.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know when you want to go into the turn order, but that is a 3 action.
Okay, so that is going to be your bonus action before starting the fight. He is now marked for death, and we will go to Edamir.
Okay, I want to. Try sneaking up to here.
Sneaky, give us a stealth roll. Well, you are in tiny fox form, so that's going to be a 30, I assume.
No, it's the 10 plus 10.
Oh, that is the plus 10. Let me check here, because these bodyguards are, but they weren't born yesterday. Yeah, one of them snaps his head towards where Edamir is and goes like, I think there is a beast in the bushes.
Then I will just run out yipping, see them, and run back in. Like
when you run out,
like a normal little fox.
Yeah, when you run out yipping, you can see that standing ready but hidden by the bushes, there's 2 of these guys. Huge, or man-sized, but definitely devils. And you get the unpleasant smell of something summoned from the Nine Hells, or the Plains of Torment, or whatever it was I called it last campaign from them.
Interesting.
Oh, what? Why is this man not visible? There we are.
And I will have Roran stealth over to here.
Okay, give us a stealth roll for Roran. Roran, what happened to Roran's token? He's not going to be able to stealth the entire way there because he's pretty large and in charge right now. And he is also giant wolf, kill it! One of the giant shouts.
Darn it! And that'll be my turn.
All right, that takes us to Mador.
Okay. I'm gonna move slightly. Crossbows drawn, and I'm gonna hold my action until I see a threat. And then I will shoot. It doesn't look like they're planning on attacking us yet. They're just looking at the big wolf. Correct?
Well, they're definitely planning on attacking the big wolf. You can be pretty certain of that.
Yeah, I know. So I can see the devil and one of the fire giants.
That is true.
I'm gonna hold on my attack until everyone else is in ready position.
Gotcha. Right, that takes us to this individual. Let's see. So everybody except, I think, yeah. Everybody except Mador and Zara and Herko need to give me a DC 28 reflex save. As he yeets a fireball at Tonka.
What was the DC?
28.
Oh,
Oof.
So yeah, Iodi and Marisol Preacher take 21 fire damage. The rest of you take 10 fire damage.
level
None
spell?
at all for me.
None at all for you, yeah.
Roran missed it also.
Level of the spell was third.
Copy.
And then you see him sprout wings, and he flies 30 feet into the air. So I'm just going to paint a little... like, arrow to show that he's 30... 1, 2, 3 lines. That's 30 feet up, yes. Everybody understands that. No, nobody does, because that looks terrible. Shit. He's 30 feet up, anyway. Flying on devilish wings, it looks like. This devil is going to be sprinting up towards where Edamir went into the forest. Again, Mador has the option of taking a shot.
I will take my shot.
You're not throwing away your shot. Nice.
Yeah, I'm going to hold off in case the wizard do something.
Oh, he's already thrown a fireball.
It did. Okay, I can't see him on this one, so I guess I didn't see him anyhow, so it didn't matter.
Well, so you're going to be shooting the devil, or you're still holding?
I will shoot at the devil.
Gotcha. Firefly. Oh, that is a critical. That is very much a critical. That thing is definitely knows it's been hit. As Mador puts a bolt straight into its armpit on the right side. It's not dead, so it's but it's very injured.
I'll be switching to glaive.
The other one is also going to sprint up next to Edamir, and you can hear them chittering in Infernal. But does anybody here speak Devil?
Nope.
That takes us to Magnus.
That's not celestial, right?
Nope.
The opposite.
Pretty much the opposite, yeah.
Yep.
It's infernal, I believe. Let me double check that. Yeah, it's infernal, because demonic is its own language. That's named demonic. Magnus Ivalsen, it is your turn, sir.
Aye. Take it Magnus is dismounted. He's going to sneak into the bushes alongside Roran there.
All right, give us a stealth check. Clank, clank, clank. You're pretty certain you're nobody knows you're there.
Uh-huh. Okay. Magnus is going to set an arrow in his crossbow. And nope, you can't see that guy. His longbow, I mean. Okay, never mind. Magnus is just gonna march out to this guy here.
That is going to get him attacked with an attack of opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, swings his glaive at Magnus. Ooh, yeah, that hurts. 21 slashing. Actually, no. What is that? 10 slashing damage, 11 evil damage. And he now also takes 1d6 persistent bleed.
Okay.
As the wound is infernal. It's a devilish weapon. From a more devilish time.
Indeed. And Magnus will hit the one by Edemir with his saber.
That's a hit, sir. He slashes it, but it seems somewhat resistant to Magnus' saber. And I believe that's his turn.
Yep.
Which takes us to Madame Alpendeur. Sneaking up.
I have swift sneak, so I'm gonna sneak over here.
Gotcha. Sneaking swiftly. Give me a perception check, please.
Say that again.
Give me a perception check, please. Huh? Very well. What else is Ari going to be doing?
I'm gonna continue sneaking around the edge of the pool. It has like
Okay.
line of sight blocking, so I'm assuming there's like a lip there.
Yeah, there's a lip there, but you can see down into... you're not quite on the lip yet. Yeah, can't. Yeah, if we put you like there, you should be able to. Yeah, if you want to be seeing down, that's where you want to be. On the lip of it. So that's up to you if you want to go.
Can I maintain cover while I'm sitting there?
Yeah, I'm gonna say you can. You're kind of just poking your head over the lip, taking a look down.
Then yeah, that's fine.
And you see this friendly creature reaching up towards you. That takes us to Yodi.
Yes. I am going to rub my hands together vigorously and create an ice storm. That's a 3-action spell.
Ooh.
I'm going to put... I get to do 2 separate clouds because we're outside. So I'm going to do one on the south fire giant and one on the caster himself.
Right.
It's a 5-foot burst around them. They take 2d8 bludgeoning damage and 2d8 cold damage. The snow and sleet continue to rain down in the area for the remainder of the spell, making it difficult terrain, causing them to be concealed, and making creatures outside the storm concealed from those inside the storm. If you end your turn in the storm, you take 4 cold damage.
Gotcha. Very nice. So roll your damage, sir. Is there what's the save on this thing? Is there a save on it?
I don't think there is one.
Right. Well, in that case, you just roll your damage.
No, it's basic reflex.
Yeah, basic reflex. The sort of reflex that wears Uggs and drinks, like Halloween lattes. Okay. The fire giant actually manages to dodge entirely out of the storm of the spell, not being affected by it at all. That's impressive. Didn't see that coming. I'll tell you that for a dime. And so does the sub-archon. None of them actually affected by it. Holy, as they say.
That's my turn.
Right. So this fire giant here is going to move down. Let's see, what's your movement, bro? There we are. Okay. Gonna move down here and swing its greatsword at Magnus. 29. That is a hit. Hitting him for 36 slashing damage. The other fire giant is standing, just looking for trouble currently. Holding off on attacking anybody. Which takes us to Estrella.
Yes. Estrella, seeing that Magnus is down there, seems to be in trouble, and the spellcaster high up in the air, out of her reach, tries to sneak. Let's see. Tries to sneak around with can move 70. I also have swift sneak. I want to sneak around that giant, or no, just cancel that movement. I want to sneak next to the giant so I can stay close to Magnus. I'm not going off alone again.
Okay. That's what, 20 feet of movement.
Yeah, that would be to reach the giant. I think I would have to go here. That only takes my 1 action.
Sadly, I can't actually see you trying to move your character because Fancy Grounds is being weird again. So,
all right.
Is this where you want to be?
1 more down, so not directly in front.
This is where you want to be.
Yeah, this is where I want to be.
Gotcha.
And in the hope that he didn't see me sneaking up, I try to attack.
Go for it, ma'am.
Attacking once.
Ooh, that is definitely a miss.
Yeah,
Raker
even
just
flat-footed,
skitters
I
off of
guess.
yeah,
Raker
just skitters off of his very heavy armor.
Yeah, not even flat-footed can save that one. Attacking twice. Nope.
Nope. Estrella just can't get through the armor.
That is... Oh, well, why did I use the Perennia Kiss for that one? No, that's wrong. I was attacking with the Rapier.
Right. Would the attack bonus be the same, or would
would even be 1 lower.
Okay. Right. Hercule just roars, keep sneaking around, Blue Lady. Take him in the back while I smash this giant. He kind of runs past and gives a thumbs up over to Zara. And then he runs up to the fire giant and smacks its armor twice without being able to get through. The drowning devil that Zara has now found. First of all, we're going to need a DC 23 will save from Zara. It's just one of those days for y'all, isn't it? So Zara is now just being close to it. If she feels heavier, more tired, she is encumbered. As long as she is around that creature. And it is going to use one of its abilities. So we're going to need a DC 26 Fortitude save from Zara.
I would like to ask, I have foil senses if it used a special sense to see me.
There we are. Fair point. If you have foil senses, that's a piece of information that's very, very important to know. Let me just go up here and check Zara's sneak. Real quick, like, no, it would have seen you anyway.
Okie doke.
So yeah, Zara fails her fortitude save, and now she is counts as holding her breath because she's drowning. Her lungs are full of water. And that is what it's gonna be. That is what it's gonna be doing for this turn. Oakley dokley. That's Preacher's turn. Why is Preacher injured? Oh yeah, because he got fireballed. My bad.
One away from saving that. So, since I don't have clear vision, I will start my turn by just activating my stance and start glowing in the dark a little bit, fire running up and down my arms.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be moving 50 feet, but I'm going to begin with going 35 out here to see what's happening on the other side. I'm thinking of actually ending that movement at the foot of the giant, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, that giant basically covers these squares, so...
Okay.
You are now
Hello.
next to it.
I just found a smaller one over there. What's
There's also a Barbazu, yeah. A little devil. That's poking in the bushes with its glaive, trying to find Edamir.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm gonna do a flurry of blows on the small devil. Leave Harco to deal with the giant for a moment.
Yeah. The devil you're attacking is also pretty injured already, having been hit by a crossbow bolt in the armpit, it looks like.
Nice. Okay. Flurry of blows, and...
You would have actually been up there, my bad. That is 2 hits on the devil. It's also flanked, so that's actually 2 criticals on the devil. Holy carp.
Oh my god. Okay, this is gonna be first time then. That's the first strike.
That is a total of 97 damage. Yeah, Preacher just kind of goes in with his new hand wraps, punches both hands through the devil, and just kind of tears it in two. And it dissipates into nothingness with a little shriek going. Wah!
The lightning damage from the gauntlets actually spreads to 2 enemies in adjacent squares, so 10 feet. So the giant and the other one actually gets hit for the 4 plus 5. And 6 plus 3.
For 1d6 for each crit.
1d6 for each. So it does 1d6. Yeah, give us a 2d6 lightning then. Because there's a small thunderstorm going on from Preacher as well, and this thing suddenly is... the other Barbasu is not happy, and even the giant gets slightly singed by the gloves. Somewhat set on fire.
I'm done.
Very well. That takes us to Marisol.
So, technical question. Does that lightning that he just hit the giant and the other devil with count as him hitting them?
Are you talking about strike?
No, I don't think it would. Not for what you're looking for.
Just wondering. Then I will go down to one knee and aim at that giant
Huh.
and fire.
What are you shooting?
My Royal Slug Thrower.
Ah, very well.
No, Royal Slug Rifle, sorry.
Yep.
And I can't roll higher than a 3 today.
Nope, that is a definite miss.
Okay, I'm gonna just aim for next round then.
Gotcha.
And curse the day I was born.
It is now the turn of Eramir the Mighty, Slayer of Sheep, or something.
No,
Or
that's
Slayer
good.
of Mice. Eramir, Slayer of
Yeah.
Mice. Yes.
I will 5-foot step over here. And
Gotcha.
seeing all the lightning, I can be like, I can do that too. And I will send a 120-foot lightning bolt straight through all the way that way, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, you're not going to hit Sora, but you will hit the devil that's trying to drown her. In addition to the
I
two
can't
others.
even see Zara or the devil, so.
That's perfectly fine. I can. I know where they are, and so does the lightning bolt.
And it is a basic reflex save.
Basic DC what?
26.
26. So that is double damage to the bearded devil. Fire giant dodges a bit, but not entirely. And double damage to the drowning devil. Dang. Okay. So yeah, the bearded devil hit by that. First hit by a bit of lightning, and then hit by a lot of lightning. Just goes up in a poof of air and completely disappears, having been absolutely destroyed. The fire giant's slightly inconvenienced by the whole thing. It's huge, so it doesn't really care that much. But the drowning devil definitely hit badly by that lightning. It does not seem like it enjoyed that very much. You can't see it, but you hear something fiendish scream out in pain and anger back there, and then a huge ass wolf the size of a war horse comes running up.
And he will attack.
And that is a miss.
And that'll be it.
And the big giant has very thick armor. It is Mador's turn.
Okay. It's getting crowded up there. Don't like the idea. Being from a wizard background from my dad, don't like the idea of all those people being in one spot. So I'm going to cock my crossbow and take a shot at the flying wizard.
Gotcha. Oof. That's a critical, sir.
Hopefully it'll break his concentration on flying.
It potentially could have, but he's actually flying with wings instead of what looks like a spell. But he's unhappy about it for sure.
Reload the crossbow.
Yeah, he's gonna fly over here, flappa, 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 and he's like, "Who dares shoot at Archon Capri? I shall." And he looks at Mador and see that is way too short range. So actually, he is gonna fly all the way over here, and then he looks at Estrella. Says the Curion follow my orders. Kill These fools that have attacked me. And that is going to be a DC 31 will save.
Ouch.
Oof. That is a crit fail. So you will get, and he has given you an order that's against your nature, such as killing your allies, but Estrella is currently dominated and will use the most efficient means at her disposals to try to kill the fools that are attacking the sub-Archon, her loyal friend and commander. Which takes us to Magnus.
Okay, well, Magnus raises his hand up to the neck of his plate, which then glows a nice, friendly yellow-orange colour, and does this. And that heals him for 48.
Very well. So he has healed himself for quite a bit.
And his second action, now he can't see the sub-Archon. Yep, he's just going to step forward next to Estrella. Hope he's not going to regret it. And strike at the Fire Devil with his saber.
The fire giant. Nope, clinks off of his armor. Clink.
Okay, a heal, a move, and a strike. Billy, that's my turn.
Takes us to Zara. That is a new DC 26 fortitude to try to stop drowning.
Ooh.
Oh my. On her second go, she manages to cough up the water. But she has lost 2 actions, actually, just to be able to take a breath.
How far away is that Sarglahan? You said it's like a lip?
Yeah, it's pretty much coming up over the lip. It's on its way up to Zara, and it's got both naughty tentacles and big teeth. So
Then we'll do, the only applicable thing.
whammo. Very well, that is a hit.
Get out of my house!
That's my purse. I don't know you. Yeah, Zara smacks it with the Shadow Talon, but it's not going down. It's still coming up, making lewd noises and wiggling its tentacles. It is Eodi's turn.
Ah, yes. I would like... Oh, I messed that all up. I would like to move to there. And then... I'm going to cast Chromatic Ray at the caster floating about in the air.
Gotcha.
So we're going to have to roll a d8. I guess I need to roll the hit first.
That's a hit, sir.
Alright.
Four, so that's something.
Poison. 25 poison damage to the target. Target must succeed a Fortitude save or be enfeebled 1 for 1 minute. Enfeebled 2 on a crit failure.
Right. You can see when it hits, he's actually got he's got a prismatic armor going, so some of the spell's power is taken up by that, but it still injures him. And we're gonna do what was the save of this?
Just said Fortitude.
Yeah, he succeeds on his save.
Yours should be a 26 like mine.
Yep. And that would be my turn.
Gotcha. You can see that he's the reason he's flying is actually because he's got one of them that are magical tattoos. Right, the fire giant here is gonna. Let's see. It is going to do a flaming stroke, and that will hit 15-foot line. It will actually not hit the OD. Dang, kind of pointless. In that case, it's not going to try that. It's just going to wail on Magnus currently because he seems to be the greatest threat here. That is a hit. That is a crit. And that is a miss. So first hit is 33 slashing damage. And the second hit is 48 slashing damage.
Okay, so that was 33 and 48?
Yes, for a total of 81. The other fire giant is moving down. See, boom, 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 boom. Here. And it is going to hurl a rock at Marisol. Ow. Which gets her straight in the forehead for 39 damage. And then it pulls another rock out of a pouch at its belt. Estrella.
Well, she has been given an order to protect him. So she is changing position. Actually tumbling behind Harken to be between the party and her master.
Mm-hmm.
And she is attacking Harken with her rapier.
Is the rapier the most potent weapon Estrella has?
Currently, yes.
Are we certain of that?
The only other thing I would have at hand is the Piranha Kiss. Everything else is in her backpack that she cannot pull out immediately.
Fair enough. $24 against Herko.
And I guess, since he didn't expect it, he could be flat-footed, I'm afraid.
He is, so that is a sneak attack.
I'm so sorry. That is 1. That is 2.
Yep, that is also a hit with sneak attack. Well, she stabs Herko twice. He goes, "Ow! Be more careful, Estrella." And he is going to be attacking the giants with his neck splitter. For another miss. Dang, nobody's dice are on fire today, except mine when I play the enemies. So he misses 2 times, and then he roars, and he is going to actually try to see. That is a 35 versus. What is your thingamajig? 35 versus 35. That is a success. So he actually goes into the giant's knees, kind of bear hugs them, and yanks it off its feet. And the fire giant next to Magnus is now prone. The drowning devil. It is going to try to drown our friend Zara again. So that's a DC 26 reflex, not 42 saves, madame. She coughs up air And she coughs up water, manages to not be drowning, but she is sickened one from that. On the other hand, she actually manages to finally breathe again, so... El Scame knew. There we are. And then it's going to try to smack her with a tentacle. And that is a hit for 24 damage and a DC 26 Fortitude save. She manages to bite her teeth together and does not actually get poisoned. Kind of flexes it out of her blood stream. It is Preacher's turn.
The fire giant that moved up behind me, is he in contact with me?
Yes.
Alright, I'll attack him then. Right, flare of blows, including one strike is going to be a combat grab. So let's see if I can hit him. So the first one is regular attack.
Let's see. That is a hit.
Damage.
Oh, good smack. Like obvious. You can hear kind of a ringing, like a bell sound. And the other one is a hit.
All right, Quinn, you may want to look this up. Combat grab should actually mean that I actually do an attack and roll damage as well as grab. That's how I interpret the wrestler feat.
Correct.
Yes, okay.
It is
so I'm
the
rolling
full effects of a
damage.
strike, and then they are grabbed until the end of your next turn, or it escapes.
Yes, so they are actually restrained and flat-footed at this moment, and they can't do any other action than try to escape.
Very well. Damn. So yeah, Preacher's got him in a kind of in a guillotine hold, which is very interesting to see because the giant is about 3 times as big as Preacher, but through some sort of trickery and use of balance, Preacher is still managing to start choking it out.
Which one did you do that to?
The northern one, the one on the top.
The one that threw a rock at me.
Yes.
Right. And now it's Arena's.
Two more strikes.
Oh, wow.
So I'm gonna continue with a Sparking Embers.
And that's a hit when he's flat-footed.
And take this.
Preacher pouring the damage on this giant. He's steadily being beaten down.
As well as just a fist to the face, hopefully. No.
Nope.
But he is restrained, and I do have the spotter feat, so over to
Marisol.
Yes, you have definitely hit him now. And I assume I turned my aim on him once he threw a rock at me.
Only you can answer that question.
Oh yeah, I did.
That was almost really bad. That is an actual critical.
Which means I get +6 damage because there's going to be six dice when I'm throwing at him, when I'm critting. So.
Oh wow. Well, that's 61 damage. He's definitely going to feel that. The slug actually punches through his chest armor, and you can see a stream of boiling hot blood pouring out.
And I'll aim again and shoot another time.
Clink! Spins off of his armor. Does nothing. But he is very injured from that shooting. It is now Archdruid Edemir of the Mouse Eater's turn.
I will move up there, yip at Magnus to pet me, and I will throw a sudden bolt at the Subarchon. So it is a 26 reflex save on the sub archon.
That is a fail. That's it. That is electricity, so you can see the prismatic armor he's got around him eats a lot of that. But he is still injured.
How high up is he?
30 feet. So actual distance from you is pretty much exactly 60.
Shoggoth, the two giants have disappeared off the map.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Okay. I was like, huh?
That's weird.
I
Okay.
don't want to move that.
The drowning devil also disappeared.
What is going on? What's going on? What's going on? I'll deal with it. Hopefully without getting DMCA'd.
And I will have Roaring attack once you're ready.
I am. They should be back. Are they not?
There.
They're back.
First attack miss.
Second attack hit because he's prone.
Yeah.
He's on his buttocks.
And that'll be my turn.
Very well. That takes us to Mudor.
Shooting at the wizard again.
That's it. That shield of it seems to do little against your crossbow, but yeah, he's definitely injured.
This takes, and this crossbow takes 2 rounds to reload, correct?
I believe that's what I put in on it. Let me double check that. It is a siege crossbow, basically. And nope, just one reload. One turn, one action to reload.
Okay, then I can get one more shot off. That'd be my lowest action then?
No, it'd still be your second, because it's the second attack.
All right, here it goes.
That's how the game's balanced, pretty much. That is actually only a miss. Bounces off of his mage armor.
Reloading.
Right, so the sub-archon, he's very angry, like, you dare shoot at me, and he is, that is going to be a, let me check this spell. Fires a green ray at Mudor. Let me find, what is his thingamajig here? So that is what okay. That is actually not a critical Amador, which is good, but it is a hit. So Amador is going to need to make a DC 31 Fortitude save.
I did a critical success.
Wow. And you have that fighter thingamajig, don't you?
Yes, I did.
So yeah, Mador is he just barely manages to get out of the way and not be hit by the green ray of disintegration shot by that wizard. And then you can see his the 2 golden tattoos under his eyes blaze up, and he fires 2 rays of light out of his eyes towards Magnus. So, that is 1, and that is 2. And are both of those actually crits? Nope. One of them is. It's 1 hit and 1 crit. So from the first one, Magnus takes 26 fire damage. And from the second one, Magnus takes 67 fire damage. So he's hit by both of those rays of light.
And I take it you went down.
Yep.
I will Martyr's Intervention. So how much damage over did you not take?
81 damage over.
Ouch.
Well, it's individual hits though. So the hit that would drop him that much over, not the whole chunk of damage.
That's the first one then.
So yeah, and then you're probably going to go down again if he uses that second one to target you again.
Well, the first one would have dropped him.
Which I Martyr Intervention.
So he has 1 hit point. So that would take you to, that would give you what? How many hit points did you have left, Magnus?
I was actually no hit points at all.
Okay, so that's going to be 25 fire damage to Edamir, and then Magnus is hit for 67 fire damage by the second bolt. Still dropping him.
But now wounded too. Oopsie.
Yep, Magnus uses his hero point.
Huh. First time in a long time I see somebody remembering those. So Magnus is going to stay at... He manages to dodge that second Raiden, and is going to stay at 1 hit point. But still, it would wounded 1, and the same on Edamir. Oof. Hero points. Except no substitute.
Yeah.
You can also, as you turn away, you see that there's like a huge, like 30-foot deep and wide furrow, just perfectly smooth, dug behind Mador, where he dodged that green ray that would have hit him. Speaking of Magnus, it is Magnus's turn.
Well, Magnus is going to use a 2-action level 3 heal. So that's 42.
42 back to Magnus. Very well.
Got it. Sorry about that. Last. Okay, Magnus is going to strike the fire giant with his saber again.
Very well. That is a... he's still prone, so that's a hit. Smacks the fire giant as he's getting up and actually beheads him, killing him instantly. Zara.
Wake up, Estrella.
Zara is going to do an esoteric lore on the drowning demon.
Ah, very nice. So the Sarglagon, aka the drowning demon, from Hell's myriad waterways, lakes, and oceans. They're the guardians of the Academy of Lies, the repository of secrets in the 5th layer of Heck. or HE double hockey sticks if you prefer. They are immune to fire, got a weakness to good 5, and resistance physical 5, except silver and poison 10. They do have an aura that makes everybody very about 10 feet around them that can make people encumbered, and if they're already encumbered, they're going to be immobilized. They can actually give interpose themselves to give to defend other devils. And they can drown people by conjuring water to fill their lungs. In addition, they're super venomous. All of these are things Sara now knows.
Very cool. I'm going to bonk him in the head.
Bonk him in the head. Very well. That is a is that a hit or a miss? Let's check. That is an actual miss. He dodges.
Then I'm going to take a 5-foot step back.
Gotcha. That means Sara is no longer encumbered or sickened as he takes a 5-foot step back. Because she's out of its area of effect, if you will. Yodi, it's your turn, sir. Get him, buddy.
Okay. Yodi puts his hands up and walks and stands next to Magnus. And I will summon a golden, shimmering globe around us and cast Globe Invulnerability. It's a 10-foot burst around me, and any spell that goes into the globe, I have a chance to counter spell for the next 10 minutes.
Gotcha.
If you just want to slide me up next to Magnus.
I'm going to just slide you up here, sir. All
it's a
smooth.
10-foot burst around me, so any spell that he casts into the globe, I get a chance to counter.
Gotcha.
And that's my turn.
That's your turn. This second fire giant, it is in pain, so it's straight up not having a good time. It is going to be breaking Magnus's hold on it.
DC 19.
That is a critical failure on the first try.
I get to hit him.
Hold him, preacher.
I've got the clinch strike, so if he tries, I actually get to hit him.
That is a hit.
Have some.
Nice. He is still
I'm also using
running.
Adamantine glove, so if it has damage reduction going, it's soft.
I'm aware. He is going to try to break Magnus's hold again. That's a critical success.
Yep.
So I'm assuming Magnus, on a crit success, doesn't necessarily get to punch him.
Not sure, but I only think I get one of those restraints. I'm not sure if I get it on the consecutive tries.
Right, and then he's going to swing his greatsword at Preacher.
Yep.
And that's a critical. That's a critical. That's a paddling. Not too bad. Smacks Magnus for 50 damage. Some of it fire damage if you have resistance.
I do.
You mean Preacher?
Preacher, yes.
Of course he meant Preacher.
Preacher, Magnus. Tomato.
Magnus has had enough this fight.
Right. Okay. Then that takes us to Estrella.
Estrella being trained as she has, steps up and swings her rapier at Magnus.
Oh, there's one miss. Let's see what the other attack does. Huh, 2 misses. It's a good thing that man has a lot of armor. Right, Herko, seeing Zara moving back, coughing and sputtering, comes sprinting up to her, so that's going to be 3 of his moves, actually, because he's in full plate. Interposes himself between her and the devil. Shouts at it. You ugly pink thing, try to steal my woman! I will take your head off and use it for bathwater mittens. And the Sorlagon is going to try to drown him. Herko, starting every single day with 400 sit-ups, easily pushes the water out of his lungs, but he does get smacked with a tentacle arm. And of course poison, yes. There we are. See, you can see him kind of gritting his teeth in pain as the poison starts working on him. He's obviously poisoned. And that takes us to Preacher.
Right.
Baby Preacher.
This guy is getting on my nerves. Flurry of blows. Second is going to be a combat grab again. Let's see if he manages to dodge it. One.
That's a hit.
I don't know.
That's a miss.
Damn it.
Can't actually get through the armor.
Nope. Regular strikes then. So another one of those. That's not going to be a miss, I think.
That is also a miss, yes. That giant is very tired, but it ain't dead yet. That's a hit.
Also, I have +3 damage from my friend, the sniper. So I'm getting a circumstance bonus of +1 per die. So +3 on the first hit.
Very well.
It's going to be a +3 total here as well.
Yeah, you also get a +1 for each die since I hit him last round.
Does it stack? I thought it was a flat +1 per die.
A +1 per die, so if you added that, that's fine, but you get that now since I hit him last round.
Yep.
And he ends up going down. Rah! The Preacher just gets up, gets a good grip around his neck, and just crushes his vertebrae to dust. Takes us to Marisol.
Okay, that dude is dead. Then I will aim for the Sub-Archon.
You can't see the Sub-Archon.
Isn't he high up?
Yeah, but those are actual trees, not
Then how
garden
did
hedges.
Yeah, okay. From there then.
Yeah, you can see the Sub-Archon there. Easy peasy. Boom! That is a critical.
for 53.
All right. Nope. There we are. You hit him. He's very injured. You actually push him 5 feet as well because of your the impact on your gun. But he's not dead. I ain't dead, as he says. Speaking of ain't being dead, it is Edamir's turn.
I will. Let's see. Move up to there. And how far away is he?
From you now, effectively, let's see, that's 45.
Darn. I'll have Roran move over there.
Woof, woof.
And seeing as he's still too far away, I'm just going to go back to the bush.
Gotcha.
And that'll be my turn.
Oakley dokley. That takes us to Mador.
Okay, first one will be reloading the crossbow.
Yep.
And then I'll shoot.
Very well. That's a critical. .43. You hit him. You can see the arrow pierce through his lungs. But before he dies, there's like the pop of a champagne cork. And he disappears.
God damn it!
He got away.
And Mador still has 1 action left. Oh, well, this thing disappears because the summoner's gone. Whoop. We are now out of combat.
I'm going to
Strella's still dominated.
True. Until... Good point. Mador, you have 1 more action. Thank you, Edgar.
I'm going to head up to where Estrella is. I'm going to go cut that back 5 since I only got 1 movement left. Back 1 more. All I can do, that's the rest of my moves.
Right. It takes us to Magnus.
I will yell at Magnus to restrain her. Or somebody restrain her.
Firstly, Magnus will 2-action heal himself. For 23 back. And then he's going to try and grab Estrella. Athletics roll?
Yep, that is your athletics. Versus a difficulty of 28. So no. She's slippery, just slithers away.
And that is my turn.
Takes us to Zara.
Herko, you're a damn fool sometimes. I'm gonna move here.
Okay.
And I am going to grab Estrella.
Nope. Definitely not. Zara is now flat-footed as she tries to grab Estrella and ends up flat on her face eating shit. Takes us to Eodi.
Ooh-wee. I will snap my fingers and I will attempt to put her in the resilient sphere.
Very well. So how's this whole the whole anti-magic flying work for you?
I mean, it doesn't affect me. It affects people casting into the globe of invulnerability. But the resilient sphere, because she is an unwilling participant, she has to have to roll against her reflex save to try to catch her in it.
Right. 28. That's a good reflex save. I think she manages to dodge.
She does indeed, and that will be my turn.
All right. That takes us to Estrella.
Well, from the ones around her, Magnus still seems to be the most injured one. He also killed a giant, and she attacked him before, so I'm really sorry.
That, I believe, is a hit. Yep.
Just about.
Pokes him with the rapier. Ow. For 10 damage.
Mm-hmm. Well, what she is best is tumbling behind and attacking from behind. I'm afraid.
Yep. So, yes, give it your best tumble to see if you can get past there and flat-foot him.
That is acrobatics, right?
Yep. Versus Magnus's 10 plus his perception. Yeah, that's a success.
I'm so sorry.
Does anyone get taxes of opportunity on this?
You can take an attack of opportunity if you will. But she, no, wait. Actually, I need to check your perception first. She is tumbling. So, nope. If anybody has a 17 or higher perception and could take an attack of opportunity, that would be potential, but no, she's just too slippery.
I already failed that, didn't I?
Yep. So, now he's flat-footed against her attack. But it skitters off his armor.
You see when she tries to attack that just for a moment her hand is shaking and misdirecting the attack.
Hetko is just, I am coming to rescue you, Zara, and he's running around. Now, you can see he's clumsy, struggling to stay on his feet, and his already greenish skin is even more green from all the poison from the drowning devil coursing through him. He's just straight up not having a good time, bro. Things are not fleek. Or on fleek, I believe. That takes us to Preacher.
The blue edge there, is that a lower or higher area?
Where? Oh, there with the water there?
I cannot see down into it, but I see a slight bit of water there.
I'm just going to open it up because there's nothing down there now, so it just looks more prettier on the map.
Ah, excellent. Then I will walk over here and grapple.
All right.
Let's see what happens if I manage to grapple.
So that is versus a 28.
Yep.
Yes, she is grappled.
Start to do this. Flying through. She's into the water. That's 40 feet.
Nope.
Not taking any damage as I can ignore up to a height of 50.
And then, on my last action, Preacher runs out on the water to actually see that she's, recovering.
Yeah, she has actually landed and looks like she's about to run out of it on the water. So,
in that case, I'm just going to slap her.
That's going to be exactly 50 feet, actually. Just being thrown and then 10 feet down as she goes. So she takes no damage. Preacher can try to slap. Roll to bitch slap.
Just a regular attack.
Second attack, as you have been grappling on your first.
Okay. Dang.
Nope, she easily dodges that. That takes us over to Marisol.
Yeah, so I'm gonna use Tool of the Trade from my bounty hunter days.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna step over here, and then as Preacher got her last round, I'm not going to use that because I'm not going to do damage on her. I'm just going to throw and try to hold her with the bola.
Okay.
And I missed totally. I also loses that thing, I guess, because it ends in the water.
Yeah, the bola. You see the bola wraps around a really, really big sturgeon that disappears in the water. And you can also see that as she's getting up on her feet after having been yeeted by Preacher, she's holding a khopesh and a really nasty-looking whip that she must have taken out of her backpack during her flight. Edamir, it is you now.
Okay, I got one shot at this, so hopefully your dice fail you. I will move up to there, and I will cast Modify Memory on Estrella. So make a will save.
That is a failure.
All right, I am going to erase the memory of her being given a command.
Fair enough. Estrella is still dominated, but she has no command going for her. So she's kind of just standing there, you know, like a robot. Currently, you see a fly land on her eye and then buzz off without her even reacting to it.
And I will sustain the spell for now.
Right. How long can you? Well, you can sustain that
It's
thing long
5
enough for y'all
minutes.
to.
Yep. And if it comes back to me, I'm modify the memory and give her the command to be normal and be one of us.
Okay, so her memory now modified to being normal and being one of y'all. Estrella seems to be acting normally again. Although technically she is still dominated until next time that wizard prepares spells.
Preacher's literally standing on the water there going, continue fight or not?
No, it should be good for now. Estrella, you there?
So he looks around, looks in the water. I am here.
Well, she's still dominated, but I've modified her memory, so should be fine for now.
Come on, Estrella, please. Come back to me.
Unless I'm mistaken, since we're both using the same feet, we're actually swimming by now because our movement has ended.
Yep.
To run on water, I also have to use half my speed before I get on water. So,
which was one of the points we're eating out here.
Yeah. So both of you are swimming back in. As Marisol reaches out a hand and helps Estrella out of the water, she can see a new tattoo forming on both of her wrists. The two tattoos now kind of interconnected like two links of a chain.
Come on, my friend. Stay with me.
She takes your hand, following you out. But she still doesn't seem to be quite herself yet.
I know. I'm just glad you're not trying to kill me.
That's right. Why?
You remember all of that.
Yeah, I remember I attacked Helco and Magnus, and I know that he was there. But why did I attack you?
Well, you're currently being dominated by that guy that we were fighting.
And you see her face going pale.
Yeah, I kind of had to poke around inside your brain and memories, so sorry about that.
We're protecting you, as always.
And she's turning to Marisol. You promised!
That's why you are still here and he's gone.
Speaking of him being gone, Eodi, can you identify what he used to shunt himself away? He might still be nearby.
Yodi can try to not do anything.
Eodi is pretty certain that he saw a trick like that, where they used sort of like a balloon filled with flour or something, and then hid under a table.
I'm going to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, Estrella is also looking around if she can see him around, and as I have marked him for death before, I get a +2 to for him, so a 28.
Yeah, we'll also see what Mador wants to say here.
I'll mention to Marisol, do you still have him on Hunter's Mark?
I do. But unlike Leo, I can't know exactly where he is. I can just follow his tracks, and he did not leave tracks. So until we stumble over his path again, then there's nothing I can do. I'm no ranger.
You do what you can, Hen. Is she alright? And Magnus pulls off his gauntlet. Estrella, are you okay?
She takes back a step from him, visibly shaken.
You'll be okay. I promise.
It's alright. You were driven to it. It's no your own doing.
That was him. All him, not you.
I'm supposed to be free from them.
And that's why we protect you. We did not let him take you away from us. And we did not let you harm us. You are okay now. Just stay close to me. Okay?
Question for the GM.
Yes, that's me.
When he used the dominate spell on her, did she feel anything else, like something around her eye or something?
Yes, very much so.
Was afraid of that. She calls the... Well, Marisol is standing next to her, but she still calls the dagger she gave her suddenly back in her hand and raises it to her face.
Stop, please.
What are you doing?
Do you try to grab her hand? If not, she is starting to scratch over the left side of her face.
Magnus will absolutely try and stop her.
Then grabbing your arm.
Okay, give us some checks to wrestle again. You haven't had the greatest success there, but Magnus actually does manage to do it this time.
Hold her and I'll tie her up with my whip.
I've got her. Estrella, stop it. Come back to his hen.
I am here, and you, she tries to fight you to break free, and you can see that she is she is in control at the moment, but she did have a clear intent in wounding her own face.
No, I'm not letting you go while you're gonna hurt yourself. That's him.
I'm gonna
going
grab
to,
a set of my manacles.
Has it been 5 minutes yet since this conversation?
It's been 5 minutes, yeah.
Okay, then I can't modify memory any further.
I'm gonna manacle Estrella behind her back for her own protection for now.
Jesus,
I'm sorry, my friend.
I also rolled a perception earlier. I wanted to try to smell and see if I could smell him out, if it was just an invisibility or if he actually teleported.
He definitely teleported. That was a bound or a contingency spell for when he hit 0 hit points. He teleported somewhere, but you don't know where. And on that note, unless anybody has any scenes they need to finish off, we shall call it a day and let Mr. Tulmar find somebody to raid.